So unlike the usual B-roll that many of us like to put at the beginning of the video of what is to come, I wanted to just start off right here. This is where we're at today with the kitchen, and it's a mess. But pretty much the whole downstairs is a mess, and that's just how it goes when you have a busy family and lots of things to do and just a lot of moving parts. So today is the day that I'm going to tackle it because truthfully, it was just all getting a little bit too much for me. When my house gets like this, I feel like my mind gets just as cluttered. So I'm going to start with something that's really been such an eyesore for me. And that's the refrigerator. It needs to be cleaned out real bad. And I actually took some of the containers out when I was doing dishes the night before because holy mold in those containers. I just left them in there. I had so much going on. We've had 2 birthdays this month, just a lot of moving parts. So today's the day that we're going to tackle it. So I hope you guys are ready. We are going to just get right to it. I pulled everything out and here we go with the refrigerator. It is all empty. So the next step is to show you all the food that was in here and go through it. But before we go through it, I'm going to wipe everything down. Nothing fancy, just a warm rag and some soap and dish soap, that is, and just wipe everything down. There wasn't a ton of spills or things like that, but it just needed a good wiping down, and that honestly made it look practically brand new. You would be surprised what a nice little cleaning will do for a refrigerator. So that's what I did. I like to do this before I put everything back in, and that helps just kind of get everything like a clean slate right back to its baseline. If any of the parts are removable, I do take those out, and generally I will rinse those just real quick. But the things that we don't take out, like I said, we just use the rag. And so then I bring the garbage can over here and I'm just going through and looking for anything that is expired. As you can see with my 4 containers of hummus, it was BOGO at Publix. And I also didn't know that I already had some hummus in the refrigerator. Noah informed me. He's like, Mom, I just can't eat that much. And I said, you know, bud, I don't expect you to. That's my bad. So going through and I'm going to pull anything out that we don't like or is expired. This is an opportunity to really give yourself some compassion and grace. Sometimes we go through the store and we try new things, and those new things we might not like. So instead of getting hung up on the money that you spent on it, just get rid of it and then don't buy it again. I'm going to talk to you guys about DoorDash. Have you guys heard of it? I'm sure that you have. It's something that we use on a weekly basis. Whether I need something quickly from the store or maybe I just don't feel like making dinner, which is a lot, I will have DoorDash bring me our food or whatever we need. It is so convenient and it helps me out so much. If you're sick at home and you realize you need some medication, DoorDash. Maybe you are traveling and you left some of your things at home, DoorDash. Or you just possibly don't want to get off the couch and don't want to cook dinner. Once again, DoorDash. It helps with so many things. So I wanted to bring that to you and share it with you if you have not heard of it yet. Highly recommend. Let me tell you something. It is amazing and it makes my life run so much more smoothly when I know I can get something in a pinch. So DoorDash is your door to more. You can download the DoorDash app now and get almost everything delivered. And by using my discount code, I'll have it here on the screen and in the description box, you'll get 50% off up to $10 on your first order of $15 or more. It is a limited time offer, so check all of the information in my description box. Again, check out the QR code here on the screen. Listen, if you need something in a pinch, DoorDash is the way to go. Everything is wiped clean and the things that we don't need have been disposed of or, just gotten rid of. I don't like to be wasteful with food, but sometimes we have to get rid of things, especially if it's expired or things that we don't like or want anymore. So I'm going to start organizing it. This is my favorite part. I love this. I love to clean. You all know that, hence why I have a cleaning channel. But when it comes to decluttering and most of all organizing, I have to say that's probably one of my love languages. Just the act of organizing is so great for my state of mind, my mindset, my mental health, because I feel like I'm able to really process some things, some thoughts when I get to organize. I get really in the zone and I love it so much. So, if a different lifetime, I was just me, my house would be organized to a T. But right now, with so many kiddos, which I wouldn't have it any other way, I have to stay on top of it. Chris got these really cool little clippy things here, have little magnets on the ends, and it helps keep your bags closed if you throw away those little clasps. I thought that was really, really cool. So I'm going to continue to organize everything. I'm going to put like items with like items. Now, I have been accused of decanting to a fault, but I don't think so, because if it brings me joy and it's my refrigerator, then I don't think there's any fault in that. I love these squeezy containers because when we go to use them, it puts out the perfect amount instead of having to open what you see here, a giant jar from Costco each and every time. I can just put it in these squeezy containers from Amazon and it comes out just right. So I take the extra and I put it in the refrigerator outside so it's not taking up too much space. But especially when you have little hands trying to get things, and sometimes they're a little overzealous with the wrench, this is really great because it just squirts it right out in the perfect amount. Same with ketchup. Another thing, you know how ketchup has that liquid sometimes when you're trying to use it at first? It doesn't ever happen here. So again, another win. So I will fill up all the containers that I can, refill the ones that I need to, and put them right back into the fridge. Now we use ours so fast that I don't need to write the expiration date because I rarely need to do that. We just go through our condiments very, very quickly, especially the ranch. So I don't worry about writing it. If I think I need to, I'll write it on the bottom and I'll just use a Sharpie because you can just use an alcohol wipe and it comes right off. That's what I'm doing right here. I'm just going to write what it is on the front. I don't do permanent labels on these because I want to have the freedom to use them for other items. So I love labels. I love to label everything, but in cases like this, it's just best to use a Sharpie or one of those dissolvable tabs because in case you don't want to buy buffalo next time, you want to buy mustard, you want to be able to do that and not be stuck with this bottle with a permanent buffalo sauce label on it. I know with many of these videos, it is so much more aesthetically pleasing to put all of your vegetables and fruits in their own little containers and just prep everything. But I have learned for us, it doesn't work very well. First off, I can buy Costco size produce and suddenly my kids will never want to eat a strawberry for the rest of their life. And then they go bad and moldy and I've already cut them up. And I feel like when you wash them and cut them up, they go bad quicker. Let me know if you find the same experience with that. So for us, I don't worry about it. I put it in there in their bag and it works. So here it is, organized so beautifully, and it only lasted for a couple of hours, but it was still beautiful while it lasted. When it comes to the freezer, I am lightning fast. I just get in there. So we have a counter depth fridge. So it's not very deep, and that's why we have a fridge in the freezer as well. But I want to pull it out as much as possible. You can see I don't feel like it comes out that much. And so I'm just going to kind of put everything like items with like items. And I'm going to put all of the popsicles and little snacky things like that, sweet snacks over here onto the left, and then pull everything out once again, vacuum out any of the crumbs. That's just the easiest way to do it. in my opinion, and then start putting some of the other snack items, i.e. processed food that I don't love to buy, but I do it because that's what my kids eat and we're in the summertime and we got to do what we got to do at this this phase of life. I'm going to put all of that right here, and then I'm just going to continue to organize it the best that I can. And I don't go over the top with organizing. Like, I feel like I'm pretty reasonable, pretty realistic with it. This is not a Pinterest home because it is easier to keep up with it when you do it in the way that works for you. Does that make sense? So that's why you won't see me putting everything in little tiny bags and compartments because it's just not going to stay that way. And I don't want to waste my time. But I do organize kind of over the top where I can, like with the little decanting and the squeeze bottles. And other places, we just leave it like it is. We have ice creams, popsicles, yogurt, and breakfast, like little snacky things here, little snacks. Then I've got like lunch snacks, taquitos, a whole bunch of processed stuff that I don't love that they eat, but you pick your battles. I've got all of our meat here. We never need to buy turkey burgers for the rest of our days. And then over here we have breakfast foods, blueberry biscuits, hash browns, waffles, regular biscuits, and sausage. And I will put that in the freezer outside. Extra tortillas, more tortillas, because I really need to pay attention to what we have before I go to the grocery store. The dining room is a mess. So I had mentioned in one of my previous videos and on my Instagram that the shed, the she shed that I love so much, we are selling it. So I've already got a deposit on it. I'm just waiting for the gentleman to come pick it up. The HOA, I heard through the grapevine, that was not happy about it at all. So we live in a very lax community. Yes, there is an HOA, but they really don't care what you do. And truthfully, I saw the way this home looked before we moved in it. I thought anything I did at this point would be greatly received, but not so much. So we put a shed in the very back for like all of our lawn equipment and things like that. And then I also put the she shed behind the house. I initially said yes to the she shed because it made sense, but once I started looking at the elevation of the house, I couldn't find any flat places except for right there next to where you saw it, next to the back of the house. But when I was talking with talking to one individual, very kind person, she had mentioned to me that the community is not too happy with our sheds. So the big one, it is completely in. It's got concrete footers. It is stuck. It is hurricane proof. The other one is laying on a slab. So Chris and I never went out and used it. Every time I would try to go use it, it was so hot. So we put an AC system in there, a portable one, and it helped. But the truth of the matter is I just have a little shadow that I really can't go and freely move around my house as I need to. So it just didn't work. And so then I decided to make it his shed. He never went out there either. Then I'm like, well, I'll make it into a workout room. We didn't get it around to doing that. And then I found out the HOA doesn't really like it. Actually, they really kind of hate it. And it was either I have to paint it to match the house, both sheds, but the house isn't going to stay yellow. So then I had to paint the house, or I have to just get rid of it. So we figured, since we weren't really using it, that we would just get rid of it and then use the money that we make from it to hopefully put down on painting the house. Officially wore out. We tried to put together the swing and it did not work out. And it's hot outside, and I was cleaning up, and then everyone came home. I never tell stories in sequence, forgive me. I was cleaning this up. They came home. We ate dinner. Then we went outside to do the swing. That didn't work out. So then I came in here and started cleaning the kitchen while Em was taking a bath. And now I am wore out. So I'm going to finish cleaning the kitchen. I did a lot of it, so it's not going to be really interesting to watch. And then we'll get back on tomorrow. I had shown you in my previous video, one of them, I think a video or two before, I had come up here and cleaned this area and decluttered it, and Chris and Josiah put together this dresser. It was $99 from IKEA, and it is way too small. It doesn't come out enough for me to really even put their clothes in it, so I'm going to have to modify this. I'm actually on the hunt for a dresser now. Oh man, it was a little bit of, okay, it was a big disappointment. I got to contact IKEA and let them know that it's not working for me. I don't know what they're going to say. Even if they give me like a little discount on something new, I would be grateful for that. Aerie, Drew's cat, is hanging out with me. She loves to hang out with me when no one else is home. So I'm in here pulling everything out of their drawers. Noah doesn't find it necessary to fold his clothes and or hang them. So he shoved them in here, and then I guess a friend came over and was messing with it and broke it. So there goes that. That was quick. It only was in here for maybe 2 or 3 weeks at most. So disappointed in that, but it's fine. We need to get something better that works for them anyway. I had noticed that a lot of their clothes were just not fitting, and although they love them and they're comfortable, but they are capris at this point, I told him, listen, you kind of have to let them go. I'll obviously, like, sleep clothes, wear what you want. But if we're going to church or we're going out in public, you can't, it's just not a good idea. I have to be very careful how I say it to them. I'm like, it's just really not a good idea to go out with clothes like that. So I'm trying to teach them to take some pride in their appearance. Now, Josiah, you don't have to tell him twice. He's my only kid that likes brands and cologne and fixing his hair every day, wants to whiten his teeth and all the things. The other kids do not care. And I could go either way. I don't care. I just want them to at least care about how they are looking. So I knew that I needed to come in here and do a big declutter. Not only because clothes are too small at this point, but because, you know, I say this often, if you can't manage your stuff, then your stuff is managing you and it's out of control. So if you have so many clothes that, you know, you don't even wear, but you're having to fold them and hang them up and move them out of the way when you do grab the things you do want to wear, then it's time to do a declutter. So it's best for me to do this when they're not home because I have seen the items that they're wearing and I know what works and what does not work. They don't have anything that they're over the top connected to, so it's not that big of a deal. So, but if I know there's something they love, like Noah has this jacket that he loves, or Josiah has a couple things that he loves, I won't touch them. Even if they are too small, that's theirs. They can deal with it. You know, it's no big deal. But they definitely needed some new clothing, so I will mention it, but I went to TJ Maxx and just got them some neutrals, and I hope it will take care of them for the remainder of the year.
Will be no hard goodbyes, thank God we're civilized.
Okay, so strange thing. I was wondering, why is it so hot up here? Generally, and upstairs is hotter. We only have one unit for the whole house, so it can struggle a bit. But I felt a part of the wall when I was going through their clothes. The clothes were hot, so I thought maybe they were next to their Xbox or TV. No, there's a section this big on the wall that is like hot. So I don't know if maybe insulation fell out because That's really crazy, but that would explain, like, I'm literally sweating up here. So I went through everything in the drawer. They have only 2 things hanging in the closet that can stay. I started to go through the dirty clothes and I realized I have to wash them anyways to donate them. So here's my first bag. Went through all the drawers. Went through the clean clothes that I just brought up here, and then that pile right there, I will wash. They have some clothes in the wash right now that I will bring up here. I only do 2 clothing hauls a year. Generally in the summertime at some point, usually before school, but I went ahead and did it now, and then in the wintertime. Because we're not the type of family that like goes out shopping like randomly, like once in a blue moon, truthfully. So I like to just do a big haul, and I purchase all neutrals for them. I'll show you those in a little bit, but I went to TJ Maxx and just bought a whole bunch of neutrals, things that I'm pretty sure will fit them now. I kind of tried to size up a little bit. I noticed the clothes the past few month or so when they would come downstairs. I'm like, I know I just bought that, but that's looking really too small for you now. Even some of their school uniforms. Generally, I would do a big haul right before school because I need school clothes. But since they have uniforms, I don't have to worry about that. I just wanted to get them some basics for them to wear now, especially because it's so hot. And if you know anything about middle schoolers, they love their sweats, they love their hoodies. But if you're not hanging out with your friends, you're not wearing a hoodie in my van. I'm just my car. I'm just sorry, you're not. It's too crazy. 90 degrees and these kids have hoodies on. I don't get it, but they got their hoodies. They'll fit them when the time comes, but they need clothes that fit now. So I got a lot of nice, comfortable, airy neutrals. I did end up keeping probably like, out of everything I just got rid of in their drawers, I probably kept like 3%, I'm being honest. These are really like Cat and Jack. I'm going to see if Noah will wear these. These are a little bit shorter. He might not like them. And then I have these that have the elastic band that I can tighten and relax. This is from Children's Place. So actually I'm going to go ahead and do that now because when they go to church, I would like for them to dress a little bit nicer. As much as they hate collared shirts, I think it would be nice. So even the clothes that I just got them, even though they are like really like this nice airy material, I still think it's appropriate for church. Now if I could just get them to stop wearing Crocs to church, that would be a big win. So yeah, this is nice. And these are long. Noah generally likes long things. He's not real fussy about his clothes. Josiah likes brands. He likes what he likes. He's very particular. Noah, not so much. Josiah had one drawer there and everything was folded nicely. Noah did not. He stuffed his in there so much that the drawer actually broke. So that was another mental note that you can't manage what you have. You don't wear the majority of it. And it's literally busting at the seams. So I needed to get rid of it. I'm going to go start the laundry there. And then I am going to come back up here and I got to go pick Noah up from a birthday party. And then I'll come back up here and finish it. So I did go pick up Noah from that birthday party, and then he ended up telling me he wanted to stay. So after 40 minutes of trying to leave and chatting, which now I don't say trying to leave, a bad thing, like I was just trying to walk out the door and we started talking. Very, very lovely people, wonderful people, great conversation. But 40 minutes later, I get into my car, come home, and then rapid fire the clothes that I had mentioned are now done being dried, and I'm going to start working through those. I'm going to put aside the things that I want to take upstairs and then make a pile of things that are just not working. Some things have stains, so I'm going to try to work on those a little bit and hopefully get them out. I have tried I think it's the Miss Mess stuff, the spray I've seen people use. That doesn't work great. I've used Shout. That doesn't work great. I'm thinking about trying some Folex. They had some shirts with really bad stains, so I actually used the OxyClean fabric stain remover. I'm hoping, I gotta go check the laundry and see if that worked, but whew, the stains on these shirts, I tell you what. Josiah likes to wear white shirts, and it's just not a good idea, but we do what we got to do. So I'm going to work through all of this. There's a lot of my clothes and Emma's clothes as well. So I'm also being mindful as I go through it and putting anything that I also don't want or is too small for Emma or stained for Emma and putting it in that pile. So really trying to knock this out as much as I possibly can because this took forever to do. So usually I will have my headphones on, AirPods, or put on something on YouTube. I like to play a friend's channel or maybe listen to something. Y'all know I love neuroplasticity. I love all things neuroscience. So I like to listen to things like that. And earlier when I was listening with my headphones doing the refrigerator, I was actually listening to Dr. Russell Kennedy. I purchased a program from him and I talk about it a lot on Instagram, and I've talked about it a lot, him in general, here on my channel. But when I started really struggling once again with anxiety, I went on Audible and I found a book that just made sense to me. It said The Anxiety RX. So I read it. I loved it. It changed my perspective on it. I actually went back and read it again or listened to it. And it's fantastic. So of course I followed him on Instagram and he's got programs, but I have gotten to actually know him on a very, very, very small, like I've just chatted very briefly with him. And let me tell you, when you go to the doctor and you tell them your symptoms, whatever those may be, and they just hand you pills and you're like, are you hearing me? Like, is this pill going to save my life? Is this pill going to make everything in my life better? And they make it seem like, yes, it is. But the reality is that is not true. They're selling you a lie. And yes, it can make life much easier. And I'm a proponent of just take the meds if you need them. But when you talk to a doctor that has actually gone through what you're struggling with, there's a validity there. It's like, okay, you get it. So if you're saying this is working for you and working for others, then I'm going to try it. So I see a lot of things like this, but after years and years and years of kind of like listening to his book twice, now following him, just kind of sitting back on the sidelines watching, I'm like, you know what do I have to lose? So here's some of the clothes that I got them today. I was talking about neutrals. So these are all from TJ Maxx. I don't know the brand, but it feels like really good quality. I believe this is 100% cotton. Just some white tees. This one says Kenneth Cole on it, but again, just something neutral. And then I've got them some neutral, like linen-y, really soft pants that they can wear. And that's what I'm filling their closet with, all neutrals. That way, there's no sets. For a long time when they were little, I would like to do like the Nike and the Adidas Under Armour sets. And I felt like the outfit was like, it was only that one thing or that two items. I like to mix and match. So neutral khakis, some more of those comfy pants that could literally, all of this could go together. So that's one way I try to save a little bit of money. I don't do sets anymore. It was very convenient when they were little, but now not so much. Also, they wear the same size clothes, which is great. Josiah doesn't particularly like to share clothes with Noah, but we're just kind of at that season where we're going to have to do what we got to do. If Josiah and I are out and about, he likes to shop. So if he gets himself something, then Noah knows it's off limits. But these items here, they will be for anybody who wants them. Hoodies are definitely usually something off limits. I purchased this around November, I think. So I'll just put that in the back. And then Josiah likes to save his money he loves brands. He loves essentials. He loves all kinds of money. All kinds of things. So he likes to earn money to get those types of things. I've got some of their school uniforms. I'm actually going to take them back to the school. If your kids wear uniforms, take any of the gently used items back to the school. They like to give those to kids who are coming into the school and can't afford uniforms. So I think that's really great. One thing I also noticed, I used to buy a lot of clothes from Old Navy for the boys. Their clothes do not really last long, in my opinion. So I've tried to kind of get away from there Target, I think their stuff is pretty good, but they don't usually shop there anymore either. Walmart, their newer things, pretty good quality. I actually have a Walmart shirt. This is Walmart. And I mean, you get what you pay for, but this is a good solid shirt. I always size up, so this is an XXL for 16. My boys are 11 and 13. Does this have a hole in it? It has a hole in it. Just noticed that. I don't know about you guys. I used to go to school with stains and holes in my clothes, and I got picked on a lot for that. Kids can be cruel, so I try to be mindful of those types of things. This is a shirt I purchased off the TikTok shop. I thought it was funny because Noah likes to say that all the time. Won't, won't. So that's funny. I'm switching this around. If it's something that is Noah's and only Noah's, then it goes on this side, and I'll put it right here. So I'll just kind of switch them up a little bit. These pants here, these joggers, are also from Walmart. Very, very good. I thought, at least. I'll have to see. I think they still fit them. Pretty sure. So I'll go ahead and keep these. I just purchased these back in December, or I think it was something like that. So put these right here. Not thrilled with these drawers. This is the IKEA. I don't know what it's called, but it was $100, and it is a lot smaller than expected. It is solid wood, but Noah shoved his clothes in there, and it already busted. So, not really thrilled with the quality. For the boys, I do like to fold like this, to keep it like this. They're not, so it's easy to grab. And because these drawers are so narrow, I can actually just put them in sideways, and then it can just go along like this instead of coming forward. If that makes sense. I'll show it to you when it's all done. This is a really nice shirt, a Hollister shirt. We got this from a thrift store, I think for like $2. Noah likes thrift store type of stuff, which is awesome. He's not really into brands, so he doesn't care. But Josiah likes his brands, which is kind of great because if I want to splurge and get Josiah something that's name brand, the other kids don't care. And then I can kind of get him a thing or two. Josiah also likes to share or save all of his boxes to his shoes, just in case he likes to sell them. He's like I am. He loves to sell things. It is later on that evening, much later, and I've already gotten ready for bed. I'm so excited about this point in the day. I don't know about you guys, but as soon as Emma goes down and she's settled, I run into the shower as fast as possible. I always say take the fastest shower of my life and get dressed in my comfy pajamas and then rush into bed. Sometimes I will do that before I put her to bed, so then when I'm done putting her to bed and I'm really, really tired, I just get to rush right in and get into bed. So I am now tackling the clothes because it was too much to just even handle. So I figured if I don't do it now, then it will be basically waiting for me in the morning, and I don't want a to-do list tomorrow. I've already got things in my mind I want to do. So I decided while I watch my Dateline, which I love Dateline. I watch it on YouTube. I watch 48 Hours, love 48 Hours. That is pretty much what I watch on here in the evening. I just love that kind of stuff. But I'm going to tackle this laundry one by one, item by item. and just start putting things that I also don't want or Emma doesn't need in a little pile. And then that way I can continue on with this declutter because I'm just having a hard time managing it all. And I put clothes away and I'm like, why do we have so many clothes? I don't understand. And they're not wearing half of the stuff that's still in their closet or drawer. Or for me, like there's stains, like just let it go. If you love it that much, go and find something that's not stained or, but it's time to just start letting some things go. Although I declutter all the time. I've been decluttering hardcore for years, but pretty much my entire life. I have to tell you, it's still not easy. I still get super attached to things. I think I'm always going to be that girl who was in the line at Marshall's at, 7, 8 years old, and, we couldn't buy the stuff that my mom's check bounced right there. I don't know if y'all remember, but you don't remember my story, but I don't know if you remember back in the day when you like they would run your checks, you'd write checks at the stores, and we couldn't leave, and we had all this stuff. And I remember I had this blue and white striped Tweety Bird and Sylvester swimsuit that I was so excited for. Mind you, we're in the 90s. And when the lady uh, did the check and it couldn't go through, they just started putting all the bags down, and the look on my mom's face was so sad. And then we've had like, I have so many stories like that, but I think as I've gotten older, I have realized a part of that is still in me. And so decluttering is not always easy for me. Uh, Getting rid of food, ooh, that's a hard one for me. So, it's a journey, and then it's a journey we're on together. So I'm going to continue on. This video actually is to be continued because this was a 4 hour, it had 4 hours of footage. And so obviously I've cut it in half. And so in the next video, you will get a continuation of the folding and then the remainder of the day just going through the whole house and cleaning. But I'm just happy you guys are here, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Would you consider hitting that like button? It really does help to support my channel. It's just so small, but YouTube really notices. So if you would just like this video, it's completely free. I would appreciate it. If you are interested in videos like this, I post every single week, sometimes twice a week, and I love posting these types of videos. Also decluttering, organizing, deep cleaning. I do some room makeovers and decorating, so I'd love to have you join our community. So hit that subscribe button. That's also free, and you can hit that notification bell if you want to know when I post videos. Lately I've been trying to post on Tuesdays, but with the holiday and birthdays, I'm running a little late today, but that's okay. We're going to get back on track. And share this video. If you think this could bring you or someone you know more motivation, please share it. I have a whole playlist in my description box, but if you go to my channel, you'll see my playlist, and there are over 600, that's right, 600 videos that you can watch for endless motivation. So whether you are cleaning what I'm cleaning today, or you're cleaning something else, or you just want some company and some upbeat music, I want to be the one to be there with you. So I hope that you have an amazing day. Thank you for spending your time with me. I know it's a precious commodity, and I'm thankful that you chose to spend the day with me. Put a heart emoji in the comments below. Let me know you're still here. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And no matter what you're going through today, you are not alone. You are loved, you are worthy, and you are deserving of amazing things. I cannot wait to see you in my next video, my friend. I'll see you soon. Bye.